Just give me a second, guys. Taking care of a few things. Sorry. I'm bringing up the desktop. As this easier for me. I just posted a new breathwork video. What I'm trying to do is have it a course people can follow along. Lee's here. Lee, how are you? I was just mentioning that I put up a new breathwork video covering all the basics. What I want it to be is, especially with the new ones that I put up, and I should have a separate category. I want it to be a course that people can dive in and be able to learn how to do some basic pranayama breath work. I don't want to say on their own, but it gives them the foundation. So how's your day going, Lee? Lee says he'll look at the playlist. Well, thanks. I'm bringing up, as I mentioned, bringing up my desktop. It's easier for me to see, easier for me to read. How's your day going, Lee? I guess for you, your day's almost over, right? I guess not almost over. I guess we're going into the early evening for you. I'm just looking up a few things. Let's see here. Lee says, I didn't make the meetup today, Eric. It was in a pub at Brighton by the sea, and I feel guilty I didn't meet Jace. Understandable. But you know, when you're feeling guilty, any small thing we feel, I feel guilty for this, is a reflection of a larger guilt that we carry within. So anytime we feel that guilt, anytime we feel resentment, anytime we feel a grievance, it's all a smaller reflection of the bigger resentments and the bigger guilt and the bigger grievances that we carry within. And what it's asking for, what it's always asking for, is our forgiveness. So again, we don't say I forgive myself, or we don't have to say, I forgive myself for not meeting Jace. We forgive ourselves for the projection of the guilt itself. We're forgiving the guilt. And we're seeing that, you know, if you were to talk to Jace, if Jace were to pop in right now, he'd be the first person to say, hey, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. So it's all of it is calling us to love our way through these issues. Every issue that comes up is just a reflection of the larger issues that we've been carrying around within us forever. We could say since we were conditioned soon after birth, or if we went with the yogic perspective, we've been carrying with them for lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And each lifetime, we just keep adding to it until we learn to forgive ourselves. Um, let's see. Lisa says, Eric, do you have a favorite place you'd like to drive to, or a favorite state that brings back memories? I do. Um, I was born in Pennsylvania, and um, all through the year we would go up and visit my grandmother, my grandparents. My grandfather passed away. I think it was 6 or 7, but my grandmother, uh, she lived all the way up through the 1990s, and we would drive up and see her all the time. It's been uh, many weekends and weeks with her in the garden. And then my dad's family was from northern Pennsylvania in the mountains. We would drive up there quite often. And I lived there when I was in my mid-teens, 15, 16, with cousins, as I just wanted to be as close to nature as I could. And they lived on a farm. I got a huge family up there. Anytime I get the opportunity to go up in that area, it's been a while, but it's a great thing for me. Also, I'm living in the house that I grew up in. When I became my caregiver for my father, um, this was after my divorce. I lived with him. I helped my father. My brother and I inherited the house and was splitting expenses. So I get to roam around the neighborhood that I grew up in, which is just filled with memories. And it is not quite as beautiful as it was, but it's still beautiful. All the nature videos I see are right outside my front door. And I'm blessed. One of my favorite places is exactly where I am. And this is a really great area. I could be in Baltimore City in 20 minutes. I could be in Washington, D.C. in half an hour. I could be in the wilds of West Virginia, Western Maryland, 45 minutes. I can be at the Chesapeake Bay in about half an hour or less. And I can be in the ocean, out the ocean, in about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, depending on traffic. So man, I'm in a great location. I got the Patapsco River 5 minutes away, which is its own little mini wilderness. When I was training for ultra marathons, hey, William's here. What's up, William? How's the driving going? When I was training for ultra marathons, I could leave my front door and do a round trip 30-mile run and only cross the road once. 2 times. I'd cross it going in and I'd turn around and cross it going back. Which isn't bad for being in the suburbs, you know? You still in Kansas, William? Our friend Queen Kaylin's here. Queen, how are you, my friend? Oops, let's see. I was talking to William Hart when it was actually William Downey that I should have been talking to. I apologize. William Hart is in Kansas. William Downey is in Arizona. William says he's working right now. Not bad. Great. Yep, William Downey is in Arizona. William Hart has left. He's off on an adventure. He is going to try to reestablish himself somewhere. He doesn't know where, doesn't know what he's going to do. He just knows that he wanted to be somewhere different than he was. So he's a little on my mind. So I saw the William and I jumped. I made an assumption. I apologize. How's work going, William? So William Down and I are in The meeting of the minds. William says, get out of Dodge for Mr. Hart. Literally. Definitely literally. William says he's doing, buddy. Good. Yeah, we're ironing out the details. Who's going to call who? I think, William, that we should do it on your channel. Because that way it helps give you some watch hours. I got all the watch hours I need. And maybe, you know, William says people didn't expect me to show for work today. Is this your first day back from vacation? They thought you were going to, that was going to be it. Any side bets placed? That's a long vacation. I'm not sure if I took a vacation that long. You know, I've been out of the workforce for a while. I'm a professional YouTuber right now. I don't know how I'd handle it at 59 to have to dive back into the workforce. I might have to sometime, but we'll see. William says, yes, they thought I was going to retire. A few more years. And then that rocking chair and the White Mountains, it's all yours. William says, that's awesome. Professional YouTuber. I'm a low man. I'm a low man on the working my way up. So let's say that I am on the I'm on the temp level. I'm on the copy boy level. I'm on what is the lowest level on the I'm an intern level, working my way up. Mobo says, Yogi, how are you, brother? Mobo, good, man. How are you? Awesome to see you. William says, or tomorrow, actually. I can leave whenever I want. So you got the time in already? That's a nice feeling. When you think you've had enough. Do you get anything, since you already hit that number, do you get anything extra for staying in longer? What are the reasons for staying in except maybe you like your job? Which is enough for many people. So it's just a matter of you loving what you do? It's got to be love. That's a stressful job for sure. Lee says, Yogi, I never take this opportunity to chat now for granted. I meet some great people here, and just a hello, how are you, can lift our spirits. But thanks for saying that, Lee. I very much appreciate that. And I agree. There's a reason why I go live so often. And it's not because I have anything to, it's not that I have anything to teach. It's not that I have anything to give away. It's that I get to be in a community. I get to have conversations with people. I get to talk about the things I love a couple times a day. How could I not absolutely love showing up and doing that? I get to hang out with Lee. I get to hang out with William Bounty. I get to hang out with our friend Mobo. William says, I stay for medical, dental, vision insurance. Hey, and that's no small thing either. Yeah, definitely. Bobo says, doing great, Yogi. Living that retired life here in middle America. Gonna do some mowing today. Nice. I'm working on that retired life. I mentioned before, William says, when I leave, I have none. Yeah, I know how that is. And our friend Flower is here. Flower, how was the school week? First weekend, our friend Flower started a brand new school. She was not too pleased about it. She was leaving some friends behind, but I bet you she already made a whole bunch of new friends. Um, I left lower management, lower retail management. They always threatened to promote me. I never wanted to be promoted. Every time they did, I would go somewhere else to work, and the process would start again. Um, I was actually pretty good in retail because I always try to be honest. I don't want to sell anyone something they don't need, especially older people who come into a GNC or a vitamin shop and they're willing to spend money for something they think might make them better. And it would be so easy to convince them. However, I'm not the one who's going to do it. And I would always be honest and say, you don't need this. There are better supplements, there's less expensive supplements, or you don't need this supplement. Um, at first, the higher uppers weren't too pleased about that, but eventually they saw that people kept coming back. Um, and people would ask for me specifically because I'd give them an honest answer to the question. And they liked that and they would promote me. I never wanted to be middle management. I never wanted to be upper management. They would say, you could be a district manager, a regional manager. They'd show me the boat that he bought. And I'd be like, man, that sounds awful. Almost panic. If you're going to promote me to regional manager one day, let me know now and I will go somewhere else. So I left it and I started my own training business that did fairly well. I had to shut it down during COVID. This is controversial for some people. They say, here's my theory on COVID, whatever. I don't care about any theory on COVID. I had a 90-year-old father with congestive heart failure that was in my care, and I was going to do absolutely nothing that was going to jeopardize him. So I never got involved. Everyone has their theory. That's absolutely fine. My theory was my father will be safe. He will not have COVID if I can prevent it. He's not going to die alone without his family, those that he loved and loved him, being there. So I lost my business. It was okay because, I was, at that point, I was critical caregiver and I didn't have insurance. So I know about sometimes you want to stay in a job just to have that insurance. All right, let me catch up. William says, I take rocks instead of mowing. I have a really small yard, so I don't need to worry about mowing. I also have HMO, which I don't like. I'd rather actually mow my own lawn. I don't like HMOs. You rake. Lee says, Flower, I hope you make some friends and memories at your new posts. Thank you for that, Lee. Flower says, haven't been able to come because I go to sleep early. Understandable. And if you showed up, Goldie would just send you to bed. Goldie would say, get your sleep, Flower. And I'd back her up. Let's see. Flower says, yeah, I actually do have some new friends, and the school's not that bad. Just a dress code and strict rules. No, I'm sorry about the strict rules and the dress code, but I'm glad you made new friends, and I knew you would. As a matter of fact, not to be the type of guy that says, I told you so. However, I believe I told you so. Jacob's here, and Jacob drops the link for Flower. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob, how are you? I missed your reps today. Robo says, yeah, volume these days is kind of expensive. Rack and Rocks would be cheaper. 10.4. If it was up to me, I'd have a pollinator garden in my front yard. Meaning that I'm too lazy to do anything. I would let it just get overgrown, and I would tell people it's a pollinator garden. But really, it's just a sign of my laziness. Flower says it won't be coming as often because I need to sleep, or else I'm going to be a mess in the morning. That's totally understandable, Flower. As long as you think about it every once in a while. Mark the Orchid's here. Mark, how are you, my friend? Good afternoon and happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Flower says hi, more. Jacob's dropping the link. Hello, Mark. We got a Nanu. Thanks for dropping my link, Jacob. Flower says, think about you all always. I appreciate hearing that. So yeah, that's my work history. After my father passed away, I did not have the heart to restart my business. Just caregiving's tough. I had spent 10 years caregiving with my father and family for my mom with her Alzheimer's. And then my dad was pretty healthy for a long stretch, but in his early 90s, a lot of things caught up with him. Always bounced back, but the last time with congestive heart failure, it was just too much for him. And emotionally, that took a lot out of me. Robo says, thanks, Jacob, as always, my friend. Jacob is always working for us. Tara's here. Tara, how are you? Hope you guys are linked up with Tara. Tara has a great channel, and she does. She raises awareness, especially with her live streams, for some very important issues for her. If she would like to share those issues, always a platform for you to talk. He says, Eric, you're a very caring person. Let's see. I've noticed to everybody. I try. I definitely try, because everyone gives us an opportunity to two things. Everyone gives us an opportunity where we can close ourselves off in fear, and fear takes many different guises. Fear takes the guise of grievance, of resentment, of even hatred, racism. All that is based on fear. And it's the fear that we are small, separate, egoic personalities that will eventually die, which is true in that sense. However, the ego doesn't really exist. The ego is just a thought. So how can it die? How can something that doesn't really exist die? If the neuroscience were to cut open our head and explore within the brain, they would not find anything that looked like an ego. They wouldn't find a compartment and say, this is the ego. It's a thought. Lots of thoughts that keeps coming back over and over and over again. So if the ego dies and we're still here, what are we? We're the awareness of which the ego takes place in. But the ego keeps projecting its fears outwards and outwards and outwards. And at a certain point, just a little bit of awareness, you have this opportunity. Do I keep projecting fear, or do I extend myself in love? Extending myself as love might be the only actual choice that we have. And at a certain point, it's not even a choice, because we are love, and that's what we're meant to do. So as soon as we see through the ego, that's all we have. It's all we have to give is love itself. Tara says, hi everyone. Let's see. Tara drops her link. Please says, I've just subscribed. Tara, we'll have a look at your channel on due course. Tara says, please do go to my channel and help me reach 2,500 subs. I'm not begging, I just need help. You know what? Asking for help is one of the best things that we can do. So, hey, if we can help in any way, definitely. Lee subscribed. So, hey, where is your account right now, Tara? Let me go to your channel and visit. Oh, she's so close. Getting up there. 2.49. Hey, Tara. I don't know if you've heard me mention Mayhem and Miracles and James Gype. Those two were instrumental in helping me grow my channel. I would not be where I am subscriber-wise or watch hour-wise. I wouldn't be monetized if it wasn't for them and their help. It's a great way to make connections. Not just subscribers, but people who are happy. If you show up and you say, I need some help, they're happy to help you. They're happy to work for you. Those are the best kind of subscribers, the ones that turn out to be friends. You don't even consider them subscribers. They're just friends who keep showing up, as friends do. And it gives you the opportunity to show up for them. So if you can remember, Mayhem and Miracles, James Gype, G-I-P-E, repeated. Evan says, what do you do for work? Right now, this is it. I talk to you guys. Talk about an easy gig. Doesn't get any easier than this. Or more fun. Of course, right now, I gotta admit, the pay sucks. But sometimes I look at the revenue section on my YouTube channel, and I'll see, this video made 52 cents. And I think, isn't that incredible? That something I would have done anyway, and yet I received 52 cents for doing it. My own creativity, my own showing up and talking, my own whatever it is that I shared. And I got 52 cents that I didn't have before. Pretty incredible. Evan says, how do you pay rent, though? I'm lucky. I inherited the house. And I split expenses with my brother. And I also inherited a small little bit of money that is running out. I took a gamble. Can I make an income? Can I earn an income through my creative content before my money runs out? And the goal was to get monetized and then see what I could do. Taxes here really, really get to you. And unfortunately, splitting expenses with my brother, he had a hard time. He ran out of money. He couldn't pay any of the taxes, so we couldn't split them. So it fell on me to pay all of it for over a year, as well as all of the expenses. So that took about 2 years out of my savings. So I'm on that quick approach. It's a sink or swim proposition for me right now. Let's see. Mark says the discussion from therapy this week was fear creates secondary emotion, anger. Absolutely agree. Mark says I sub to the link channels. Good luck growing your channels. Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated. Everything's based on fear. The world that we look at right now is a fear-based world, but it's an illusion. And a lot of people, how can you call it an illusion? There's real things happening. Of course there's real things happening. But real things are happening because we are projecting our fear, creating a fear-based world. But fear itself is just a thought. If you got rid of that thought, what world would we be living in right now? There's a fear that we don't have enough resources to feed every single starving child in the world. Imagine if we didn't have that fear. What could we do? Because we literally do have enough resources to feed every single child in the world. Evan says, are you going to have to get a job? Maybe. Probably. I hope not. I enjoy being a deadbeat YouTuber. Now, I'm also a freelance meditation and breathwork teacher. And I'm lousy at it. I'm actually a good teacher. I'm a good meditation teacher. I'm a good breathwork coach. But I don't charge a whole lot of people. To have the gift of being able to help someone so profoundly that their entire life is changed through the simplicity of doing 10 breaths or sitting down and meditating for 20 minutes. To have that and say, well, you know what? I'd love to give you this secret, but I'm sorry, guys, you can't afford me. Seems to be an entirely selfish way to go through life. I like working on a donational basis, and there's no such thing as a small donation. Every little bit. You just heard me say how happy I am when I make 52 cents on a video. I'm just as happy to make $1 teaching someone to meditate, and then have them come to me a month later and say, I can't begin to describe how much better I feel. Kay's here. Kay, my friend, how are you? I enjoyed your live stream. Leo's here. Leo says, much love, brother Yogi. Much love to you, my friend. Let's see if I can not fall too far behind. Purifies and also cripples. Nicely said. Nicely said, Mark. And it definitely cripples. Imagine how many people we would love if we were unafraid to love. Kay says she'll be watching and listening in the background. Had to take my grand to breakfast today. I saw that on your live stream. Happy birthday to your granddaughter. Kay says, I hope you all are doing well. I'd like to cheer you out, Yogi. I appreciate that. Tara drops her link. Thank you for dropping your link, Tara. Guys, autism awareness, very important subject to everyone. It's a subject that is very dear to Tara's heart. That's her channel. That's what she's doing. If you guys have the opportunity to support, please do. Remember, we don't just support one person. We're supporting an entire cause. We're supporting everything that they enjoy. We're supporting their artistic values, their autistic creative presence, everything about them. Lee says, I'm being overly self-conscious as a fear. I worry too much how I am perceived, and I have lots of faults. You know what the great realization, Lee? All of those are just thoughts. One of the most important techniques of self-inquiry I ever learned is simply asking myself, who would I be without those thoughts? Think of any fault that you have. Just pick one and ask yourself, who would I be without that thought? There's actually a four-part process. One, pick a fault. and ask yourself, is it true? And you might think about it and you might say, yes, it is true. But then ask yourself, is it always true? Can you absolutely know for certain that it is 100% always true? Let's say you're saying one of your faults is being selfish. Are you always selfish? Has there ever been a time when you haven't been selfish? When you gave something away freely and lovingly just because you wanted to? Because it was an impulse? If so, now comes a moment of doubt. So if I wasn't always selfish, if I'm not always selfish, then maybe the thought that I'm selfish isn't true. Maybe I act upon it because it's a thought that I believe. But what if I didn't have that thought? Who would I be? How would my life be if I didn't have that thought that I was selfish? Take the very act of being self-conscious as the opportunity to explore that which you are conscious of. Joey says, why is it so hard to quit nicotine? Man, it's more addictive than heroin, I have read. I was hospitalized 3 days and never vaped and didn't need it. As soon as I went home, there was vaping once again. You know what? After 3 days, I believe nicotine's pretty much out of the system. So it's as much of a mental addiction as it is physical. Once you're past the physical, sometimes overcoming that mental addiction is tough. Lots of ways of doing it. I think one of the importance is finding our own way. Here's what worked for me. I couldn't believe that I smoked. This was there in the 80s. I was an athlete, but I thought I could get away with anything. And I smoked all the way up to the early 90s. When I started to meditate, so many bad habits dropped away completely on their own. They no longer served me, and they just fell away. One day I said, I don't need to smoke, and I didn't smoke. It took a long time for me to do that with alcohol. It took an entire decade, and it took a big event that happened to me. But it did. Evan says, I met my girlfriend's old boss, and he asked me personal questions that got me mad. Like when I get my pension, I told him I don't get one. He set me up. Later that day, I was pissed. What do you mean he set you up? Excuse me, guys. Let's see. Kay says you should do classes, Yogi, on private StreamYard. Have anyone taken your class cash app you your fee? I thought about that before. Maybe I should do meditation and breathwork classes. What I don't really do the asanas, the posture classes. I do teach them in a very simplified manner. Because there's lots of great places where you can do a 90-minute yoga class or an hour yoga class. I like teaching people small postures that they can do every morning. The living room floor, putting a mat down. The importance of doing yoga isn't to show up for a class once a week. It's to make yoga your lifestyle. And I love teaching people how to live a yogic lifestyle from my perspective. That's a great suggestion, Kay. Lee says, Jolie, I do not smoke, but I agree. People say it can be difficult. It can be so difficult to quit. Kay says, thank you, Yogi. Queen Kaylin says, hey Queen, how are you?
Get a package.
Okay, thanks.
It's soaking wet.
I don't think there's anything I need to worry about, but let me check. Guys, I'm going to step away for 1 second. I had a package come. I had an order delivered, and it's raining outside, so I need to bring it in. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can catch up before. Charlie says, do you think if you always have a fear and think about it, it will manifest. It already is. Maybe not in the direct way that we think, but the entire world right now is a manifestation out of fear. I should say not a manifestation, I should say a perception that we are living in the world of which we have projected from our one fear that I mentioned, the fear of the ego being our sole identity. Look at around the world. We got crime, we got warfare, we got political discord, we got, you can just keep naming and naming and naming. Who can argue that it's not a messed up world? Does it have some beauty? Sure. It could be better, but we need to change our perception. Our friend Eric points here. Eric says you should do classes. Man, it sounds so technical to set up. I looked at StreamYard and I thought, I really want to add one more technical thing to my life. But you guys got me thinking about that. Mark says, my wife and I are learning yoga to combat my hereditary degenerative nerve disorder and to stay in shape. The best thing he could do, for sure. Evan says, we were asking me, he explained he does not get a pension, but he is a doctor and has 2 properties, and he is set. He was prying at my personal life. I feel bad because I cared about how he thought about me. Well, it's understandable. We've been conditioned to cherish how other people think about us, one way or the other. Liam, hey, how are you? Leanne, sorry, I apologize. Says, thanks for sharing about meditation. Absolutely. Happy to talk more about it. I could do entire live streams talking nothing but meditation, breath work, and the practicalities of yoga, as well as Course in Miracles, as well as I'm not a Buddhist. I'm fairly well read in Buddhism, and I have practiced Buddhist meditation. All right, I'm going to put my packages away real quick. It's just a few groceries, bananas, of course, and some greens. I'm going to step aside for just, hey, Leanne, I just subscribed to you, my friend. Before I go, though, I'm putting Eric Lapointe in charge. Because you know what? Who better to have in charge of an entire live stream than a Connecticut Christmas tree farmer? From the inventor of the woodcutter burpee. From the tractor man himself, from Mr. 1K. I'll be right back. I apologize, guys. Man, here's the great thing about bananas and apples. They're waterproof. Doesn't matter if they get left out in the rain. Is there such a thing as a wet banana or a wet apple? All right, let me dive in. Evan says, Eric, can you recommend any books for self-esteem? Yes. Before I do, though, let me just say a little something. First, let me say hi to Jace. Jace, my friend, how are you? Eric Point says, oh boy. Think about the self that you want to give esteem to. The self we're referring to is the ego. It's with a little s, a non-capitalized s. And it's fiction. It's not who you are. Imagine if you could relate to the awareness of the ego instead of the ego itself. Would you want to, if you were given the freedom of not believing that you were this small, separate, individual self that was always fearful, always worried, always wondering what's in it for me, how do I get this before someone else gets it? If you were given an opportunity to expand that, to make it bigger, to give it more power, or given the opportunity to experience the freedom, the absence of that little self, or at the very least, not taking it so seriously. This is why St. Francis always referred to himself in the third person. Francesco was hungry, Francesco was tired, Francesco was cold, because he didn't take that self so seriously. So we need to be careful when we think of self-esteem or self-improvement. Do we really want to give that up, build that up? Or do you want to be free, liberated, where we can laugh? Or when we make mistakes, when we get caught up in that fear-based thinking, we can pull back and we can literally laugh with ourselves, not at ourselves, but with ourselves, and say, man, I got so caught up in that. I can't believe I got sucked back into that old way of thinking. I'm glad that's over. I'm glad that I can see that. I'm glad that I can apologize. And I'm glad that I can be free. That's self with a big S, a capital S. That is, we can call that God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Christ consciousness. We can call it absolute love. We can call it our true reality, who we are. If it's our true reality, it means it's always present. We don't even need to do anything to realize it other than get in correct contact with who we are. One book I really, really like that you'll find in the self-improvement section, every bookstore, The 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a beautiful book. 4 simple agreements. Let me Google it up real quick. Four simple agreements we make. I'm going to read this. I'm going to dive back in the comment section. Sorry, guys. Be impeccable with your word. I love that word, impeccable. Being impeccable with your word doesn't mean you don't mess up. It means you realize that you messed up and you say you're sorry. Man, I exaggerated. I lied. I bent the truth. I did this. I did that. I said I was going to do something and I didn't do it. To be impeccable with your word doesn't mean you don't do any of that. It means that you recognize that you did that and you forgive yourself and you start over again. Always room to start over again. You never... Here's the thing, everyone, we talk about karma. Karma simply means action. Doesn't mean punishment. Doesn't mean retribution. It doesn't mean you'll get yours. It means that you have cause and effect. But none of these effects, none of these mental effects are permanent. So you can bypass karma through grace and forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Laugh at yourself. Smile at yourself. That's being impeccable with your word. Number 2, I love this one. Don't take anything personally. How often have you seen or if you experience. Jace experiences this all the time. Someone will come on his live stream with something to say, something unkind, something unpleasant. Jace doesn't take it personally, and the live session goes on. Imagine if he stopped his workout and said, I can't work out in these conditions. How dare you say that to me? I'm doing this for you. That's taking it personally. Taking it personally is when someone says something and we walk away and we say, and we're still thinking about it. Can't believe they said that to me. I wish I had a more clever reply. I should have stood up and punched him in the nose. I should have told him off. I should have done this. I should have quit. That's taking everything personally. Don't take anything personally. It's just words. They don't affect you. But the effects that you take with you affect you because you keep thinking about them over and over and over again. Number 3, you can get this book for like $12 on Amazon, maybe less. Probably $4 with Kindle. Don't make assumptions. Imagine you're having a political disagreement and you think to yourself, man, typical Republican, typical Democrat, typical this, typical that. That's an assumption. There's no typical anything. Always do your best. That doesn't mean you always try to top yourself. That doesn't mean every time you do burpees, you shoot for a PR. What your best is what your best is right now in this moment. And it might not be the best that you had yesterday. It's the best that you do now. And that also leads to forgiveness. Because if you know that you did your best, and if it fell short, you know it was your best. You don't hold a grudge against yourself. 4 agreements. One other book, and I happen to have it here. Loving What Is. It is by Brian Cady. And it eliminates the dependence on that little self, the ego, that we were talking about. All right. How far behind have I fallen? Forgive me, guys. I'm going to dive right in. He says, Jace, are you okay? Sorry I didn't meet you today. I felt down because I missed a wonderful opportunity. This says, Lee, behave. I never made it easy. So, Lee, think about that. How bad you felt because you were thinking about a situation that never took place. Jace wasn't even there, and yet you punished yourself. Mark says, Fiverr and Zoom. Again, sorry I'm behind, guys. Fiverr plus Zoom and webcam, Cash App, a decent yoga session gig perhaps someday. Maybe. It sounds technical. I've used Fiverr before. We'll see. I like teaching meditation over, I've been doing FaceTime. I had to get rid of Zoom because I'm using my camera to store nature videos, and I'm on a thin line every day. Lee says, oh, thank goodness, Lee. I felt really like I let you down. Wasn't worried about the others. Eric Point says, now that I'm in charge, let's talk politics. Eric LaPointe and I have never talked politics. I've talked politics only a very little bit here, and only in a really broad sense. I mentioned before my political belief, my political leaning is kindness. So how would I be practicing my political belief if someone came in with a different political thought than my own? would I be practicing my own politics? If I dismissed them, if I was mean, if I called them a name, if I refused to entertain what they had to say? Jay says, Evan's self-esteem comes from within, brother. If you want to build esteem, then I will suggest burpees. I'm surprised our friend is Leo still here. That has been his all-purpose answer, and you can't go wrong with doing burpees, guys. Get down, work, and get back up. But like life, be positive. Hey, Evan, are you on Facebook? He says, Eric, outside of here, I feel like a small sailboat in here with you guys. I'm part of a armada. The amazing thing, even more amazing than being part of an armada, you are the ocean itself, Lee. You are a wave. You are the ocean expressing itself as a wave. When a wave is done, does it stand up and continue to be a wave? It falls back into the ocean. We can say that ocean is consciousness itself. The ocean is awareness. We could say the ocean is God. We could say the ocean is love. Love is expressing itself as us, as who we are, and then we're back into the ocean. But at no point is the wave ever separate from the ocean, meaning you have the infinite right here as who you are in every given moment. Every given moment. Imagine how large you are. Can you put a figure on infinite? Jason says, Yogi, I have a confession. I said things this morning about seeming plentifulness, and you saw mushrooms. And fun guy in me loves you. I'm good. All right. Jason's gotten that out of his system. That was hilarious. I'd love that comment, Jace. Made my day. I'm surprised I only got one mushroom joke. One fun guy joke. What I'm not surprised is that it was Jace who stepped up and made it. Jace got it. Jace has an excellent sense of humor. Grim the YouTuber says, afternoon, guys. Afternoon, my friend. All right, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to work my way up. Goldie's here. I should let Goldie know. I'm behind, not through my own going off on every comment. I'm behind because I had to step away to bring in a package. CDP, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to interact with you, my friend. I apologize. I love my friend CDP. I love all my friends. But man, CDP is on a mission to spread love, to spread forgiveness, to spread kindness. He goes in from channel to channel. That's his entire channel. That's what he's about. All he wants to do. Subscribe to him. Don't subscribe to him. For him, his job is clear. Go to people's live streams, go to their channel, leave a kind remark, spend some time, spread some love, and then he's out. And he's doing it somewhere else. Uh-oh. Walking with Goldie says, Eric Lapointe is in charge. Run, Goldie, run. Well, the only reason Eric Lapointe was in charge, Goldie, was because you weren't here yet. If I thought Flower was still here, I would have left Flower in charge, because everyone knows about the iron fists of Flower. No one messes with Flower, and no one messes with people in a live stream when Flower is around. Our friend Mira Mendes here. Mira, how are you, my friend? Mira, are you going live anytime soon? You got a premiere? Hey, while I mention that, brings to mind two things, guys. Our friend Optimob is getting ever closer to the magic point. I think this will be the first level of monetizing. 3,000 watch hours. He's getting close. Jason's been putting in some massive hours helping them out. I have him up all through the day as well. I have Jace up through the day. And some other people have been helping, Amy McFarland and Ivy. And whoever pops up that I know needs help. I do my best to get to as many people as possible. But when you're this close, this is when we turn our attention and we can really help a friend who's a beautiful artist. And you guys know I'm talking about backs, right? He is the star of the show. If you guys can help him out, put in some watch hours. Jace believes we can get him there by Monday, by the end of the week. You know what? He might be right. Goldie drops a link for Jacob. Please consider subscribing to our outstanding brother Jacob. Absolutely. We read CDP's message. One word frees us all of the weight and pain in life. The word is love. Love yourself as much as I loved you. Absolutely beautiful. And I absolutely love CDP. Laradox says, sorry I'm late. You're never late, Laradox. We all show up when we show up. Jay says, Laradox, stay today, brother. Laradox says, thanks for dropping my link. That's what Jacob does. Jacob has absolutely no agenda other than helping people. None at all. If your channel has grown recently, if you've come here and you notice that your channel has grown, give a big thank you to Jacob, because he's the one who got you there. If you're on the list of Mir Ahmed, be very thankful and grateful for our friend Mir. Probably more people have made their big numbers, met their big goals because of Mir and because of Jacob. I can't thank them enough. I can't thank them enough for allowing my live stream to be the opportunity and vehicle for them to work their magic. Cody says, hi there, Laradox. Everyone is saying hi to our friend Laradox. Jacob says, I want to help you get to 1K subscribers, brother Laradox. As I mentioned before, absolutely the best way of getting anywhere, help other people get somewhere. Our friend Jacob is over 300 now. 300 subscribers. Mobo says, all right, Yogi, got to get now. But just a parting thought. Believe and love one another. 10-4. See you all down the stream. Beautiful parting thought, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for leaving us with those beautiful words. And thank you for spending some time with us today. Jay says, big thanks to you all. We only achieved this together. 100%. Absolutely. This is, guys, I always mention, if someone goes live, if I'm doing a live stream and one of our friends does a live stream, feel free. Don't stay here for any reason other than my charm and my good looks. But if you know what, if we can support someone else at the same time, I'll still be here. Go support someone, come back. Or don't come back. But definitely go support someone. Paradox says, Yogi, I'm going to go. I'll be back, but I'm going to go live right now. Bye. Well, imagine that. He says, I feel like Jade got me here for a reason, and I'm looking forward to my journey with you all. Hey, me too. With all of you guys. Think what we've all done in a short amount of time. Think that Eric Lapointe went from doing 0 burpees, 0 nature videos, to where he is now. I mean, honestly, and I'm not just saying that, Eric Lapointe's become a legend. Everyone loves Eric Lapointe. He can go in probably almost every one of those 1K channels, and he's welcomed like he's their best friend. That's not an accident. It's because he acts like he's everyone's best friend. Because he cares about everyone that he interacts with. So we're definitely all in it together, guys. I did not get my watch hours. I didn't get monetized because I'm the hardest working person on Facebook. I got it because somehow I got incredibly lucky with the right friends. Somehow I was blessed with the right people in my life, YouTube, in person, and everyone helped me. Man, I can't help but think how blessed I am. I realized today, through, again, nothing to do with me. I'm not that great of a guy. But when your ex-wife loves you as much as she did the day you got married, and I didn't do anything to deserve that, how lucky can one person get in his life? Sabine is here. Sabine, we were just talking about you guys. Jay says, Mobo, say hi to Mrs. Mobo. And through all that talk of love between me and Mocha, you think she'd give me a high five, right? You'd think it would just happen spontaneously. William says, sorry I had to abruptly leave. I will see you later this afternoon. I'm working. Not a problem at all, William. Hey, and William, let's iron out a time when you and I can get together. William, Dan and I are going to do hopefully a live stream together. We're going to talk music and who knows what else. I don't know. Maybe William, Dan and I will talk about politics. Probably not, but you never know. Definitely want to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about the politics of Van Halen. This says, Sabine, I'm enjoying checking the laptop and leaving messages. It's a good force. Eric Point says, thanks, Yogi. Absolutely, Eric. I mentioned it before, you know, how you'll pop in at the end of a live stream. I might not hear from you the entire time, but it's just good knowing that you're there, that you pop in when you can, knowing that someone's got you back. On the mean streets of YouTube, knowing that one person has your back, it's all you need, guys. And the fact that I got all you guys, can't be thankful enough. Let's see. Goldie says, now she's giving you love, not miracles. So you're saying the high five would be a miracle. Hey, I'll take the love. We can all certainly use it. Our friend MF Dredson's here. Dredson, how are you? William's going to call this weekend. Awesome. It's going to be about the politics of Van Halen. How could they give David Lee Roth the boot? Or did he leave? Or is that a conspiracy? Also, why did David Lee Roth, post Van Halen, put out a god-awful bluegrass album? What made David Lee Roth think that he could sing bluegrass? Do you guys know that exists? If you don't, you're on YouTube right now, put it in the search engine, David Lee Roth, bluegrass. Come back, let me know what you think. I wonder if our friend William Downey knew that David Lee Roth put out a bluegrass album. William says that's okay. It's absolutely okay. Speed says we are busy right now. Sorry that we not come around as usual. Timo got a contract, so we have a bit of work at the moment. Absolutely understandable. I appreciate you stopping in and just saying hi. Hey, if all you ever did was every once in a while popped in and gave a thumbs up, said hi, that would be enough. Jay says, only 18 likes. Come on, there's 10 here. I just, what do I got? I got 17. Hey, I'll take the 18. Sweet says, but we still try to do our best to come answer support as good as we can. And you do a wonderful job of that. Very much appreciated. Jacob drops a link for Eric Lapointe. So, Mir, are you still here? I don't know if you heard my question. Do you got a live stream coming up? And the link for our friend MF Dreadson. Hey, I don't know if I mentioned to you, Dreadson, I really enjoyed the drumming that you put out the other day. So, yep, once again, if you guys can put up some watch hours for Optimob, if you guys can put up some watch hours for Jace as well, because Jace's channel is growing. And wouldn't it be awesome if, I don't know if anyone's done this before, probably, but has anyone gotten their 1K and at the same time, or right around the same time, let's say within the same week, got their watch hours? You think Jace is a person who can do this? Because when you tune in to Jace in the morning, or you tune in with Jace playing with Xena or any of his other live streams, even his shorts, you want to spend time there. You're drawn to come in and to hang out. So, and he got lots of people showing up for his morning workouts. He's at 687. Man, we can get to 700 tomorrow, tonight. How are the watch hours, Jace? Runner Boy says, I'm close to 1K. Almost gained 100 hours this week. Nice. Great job, Runner Boy. That's another place where you want to hang out. Tara's back. Welcome back, Tara. Tara's another one that we want to support for sure. And we want to support everyone who comes here. For whatever reason it is that you are coming here, whatever you do with your channel, that's you. Man, I was talking about that with Mocha yesterday. And we mentioned Eric Lapointe, that how happy I was and how much I love his nature shorts, because we get to see a slice of a Connecticut Christmas tree farm I never would have seen, and I get to see it through the unique perspective of Eric Lapointe. As well, although they're not up right now, but the live streams that Goldie has done, walking along a river in Transylvania, when would I ever gotten that opportunity? Because not only is it walking along a river in Transylvania, I'm there walking along with a friend. She invites us in. We're all walking with a friend. Or we're working out in the gym with Runner Boy. Or we're working out with Jason in the morning, or we're playing with Xena, or we are roaming the hills of Switzerland with Timo, Sabine, and Bax. Or we are sitting in the kitchen eating 19 scrambled eggs and talking about music with our friend William Downey. And speaking of Williams, somewhere, maybe on the edge of Kansas by now, our friend William Hart is driving eastwards. Let's wish him the best of luck. Safe travels. Wherever he ends up, may he find exactly what he needs. Tara says hi to Jason, that she's fine. Speed says, oh yes, Eric's Christmas tree farm is beautiful. We all have our little slice that we get to offer. And I love all of it. I love watching reps in the hot, hot South Carolina sun with Jacob. I love being in the living room with Leo, being on the deck with Burpee Reaper. I love sitting at the kitchen table and hanging out with Barb as she does crafts. You know who I'd really like to see do a live stream is Wolf. I'd like to sit down and chat with Wolf as he made a pizza or cookies. Tara drops her link. Thank you for dropping your link, Tara. If you're not subscribed, please do, guys. Jason's gonna look. Must be 600 nearly. Jason says, Tara, next time I'm in your live, mod me, and I got you back. You're very warming. She is. And hey, you couldn't have a better person to have you back than Jace. Speed says, Tara, I did already? Awesome. Hopefully everyone else will as well. So thinking about 5 minutes, I'm going to wrap things up for the afternoon. I'm actually going to try to give our friend William Hart a phone call in a few minutes. I'm also going to mention I have a few more breathwork videos that I put up. If you guys want to learn the basics of breathwork, the easiest way of making positive changes in your life, the most profound way, change how you breathe. Change how you breathe, you change how you think. Let's see, Jacob drops the channel for Lee and Tara as well. Awesome. Lee says, I would love to learn the basics. Absolutely, Eric. Yep, what I'm hoping is that I guess it's for the last 3 days. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing the breath work as well as meditation, that people can watch them and they can actually start right away. That you can watch a video and say, I can do this. So if you happen to watch it and you're confused, then I've made a mistake somewhere along the line. Let me know and I'll make another one. Sabine says, that is a wonderful idea. Thank you, my friend. But yeah, like I said, each video, offers an explanation. Why am I doing this? I already know how to breathe. I got a nose, I got a mouth, I got lungs. What do I need you for? But can you breathe specifically in a way that makes those profound changes? Jacob has to go. He says, thank you for having me on your live stream. Once again, brother Mr. Yogi. Much love and respect. Big salute. Big salute to you, my friend. Thank you, Jacob. Jay says, I've worked out. If I leave Altamab on my laptop and then run on my mobile while I sleep, it's double points. Absolutely. So that's adding in just what, about 50 watch hours in a day? Jay says, Jacob, you're welcome everywhere. Let's see. Speed says, I can breathe with my left lung only and then switch to right lung breathing. Can you do that? I cannot do that. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now I'm tempted to try, but I also have the thought that I would pass out and fall off my chair if I did try. So if I do try, it's not gonna be on camera. Probably much to the disappointment of the public at large. Burner Boy says, I wonder if it actually counts for watch hours from doing that. I don't know why it wouldn't. Watch hour is the watch hour, right? Hey, I had people play me a lot. Princess Vampire. And our friend Goldie. Stephen Price says, I love that shine on your head, man. Looking amazing today. Thank you, Stephen. I'm feeling amazing today. And you know what? I can't see you, but I have absolutely no doubt, my friend, that you look absolutely amazing too. I was talking about one specific breath, Kumbhoti breathing. It actually translates as skull shining. And I thought when I was mentioning that, I could not help but think about our friend Stephen Price, skull shining and the shininess. That's how you get it, guys. The shine comes from within. This isn't cosmetics. I don't wake up in the morning and shine my head. I know you're surprised. I don't have a skull brush. I don't spit and shine. That would be gross. And I don't get outside help. I don't go to a head shine specialist. I don't take head shining supplements. I do have a good diet, and I think that helps. I get my shiny head, I get my shininess through my internal practices, through meditation, through yoga, through breath work. Clean, healthy living. It's an internal shine that just comes up. And our friend Steven notices it every time he comes in, and he never fails to mention it to me in a very, very, honestly, very sincere manner. And I love when Steven shows up. That was a long talk about my shiny head. I feel like I should offer you guys an apology. Reaper says, I'm working, but I need a break. All right, I was going to wrap things up, but I'm going to stay. As long as Reaper needs a break, I'm going to stay here and be that break for our friend Burpee Reaper. Jay says, has to be from different IP addresses to count. That makes sense. How you doing, Reaper? What's on the plans what's the agenda for this weekend? Another Holy Grail for fun, 500 seals. Are we going to get a show tune Sunday? Jace waves at Steven. Oh, Spartan. Yeah, that's this weekend. It is this weekend, right? Man, stay tuned. This is going to be big. Hey, man, what a great way to top your comeback this year. than with a Spartan race. Rumor has it, Reaper just wants one more medal in his ongoing competition, in the medal competition with the Jay Jordan. Running Boy says, I need a few peps to get me to 3K. I'll keep adding you to my my list. And we can all pitch in and help our friend Runner Boy too. Click on the playlist, let it go. Welcome with Goldie says, Eric, do you have a direct line to Simo or Timo? I do, actually. Timo on Facebook as well as his email. Speed says, Goldie, do you want our email? Jay says, Runner, I will go run you on a second window. We'll get 168K a week, 168 hours a week. Wow. Man, love when you guys step up for each other. Reaper says, appreciate you, Eric. Absolutely, my friend. I was talking about you yesterday and the early days and how the Burpee Reaper, the champ, Mr. 5 Pound, the original It Is What It Is, from day one, had my back. Heavy bag lifting? Heavy bag lifting, no more huge numbers. For this weekend or for the rest of the year? Reaper said the 24th. Oh, so basically, you want to taper. You want to come in feeling fresh to do the race. Speed says, put a list together who will still need watch hours so we know who to help. That's a good idea. You know what? Let me think about that. And I can have it on my computer. I can cut and paste. I can put it down as a comment, and I can pin it. So it'll be at the top. Now that both Reaper and Eric Lapointe are at 1K, we can definitely start working on more watch hours for them. Burner Boy says, Yogi, so what are your earnings like from YouTube so far? I've only gotten paid once. And it was for part of May and all of June, it was $225. Which, hey, that's not bad. I mentioned before, I only need a little bit to be completely independent, earning an income on YouTube. If I could make, and I've talked to people, and that's achievable. You need to work for it, but it's achievable. If I can make $1,000 to $1,200 a month on YouTube, it would be the equivalent of making 10K, 20K, because my life is so simplified. And because I don't want more, I only want enough. I only want enough to support what I've been calling my yogic lifestyle. I want enough where, you know, I keep doing what I'm doing. Timo is here. Timo, how are you? We've been talking about you as well. Reaper says, I want that medal. I know you do. I saw the look in your eyes when the Jay kept pulling out medal after medal after medal. He kept putting them on. It got so heavy, he couldn't stand up. And the Jay's a strong guy. It got so heavy, he couldn't stand up anymore. He couldn't squat the weight of his medals. That's how many medals he's had. He had to reach up to get the helping hand from Reaper, and that's when I saw the look in his eye. Reaper was thinking, I want those medals. So I knew it was only a matter of time. No big reps for Reaper. And it says the most I'll do is 5 pumps. Man, we should all be in that kind of shape. Cody says, Sabine, I don't usually use email. Do you mind if we connect on Facebook? Lee says, Runner Boy, I mentioned you to a friend today. Runner Boy says, Lee, cool. Reaper says, yes, I got 3 weeks to get ready. I'm not sure all of the events. I used to know. I had some people who tried to talk me to get into that when I was working out with some military people, and they were into that, and they were also CrossFitters, and they're like, you should do this. It's right up your alley. But at that time, I was doing ultra races, and I was like, you know what? If you need a challenge, run 100 miles. I was an ultra snob. Runner Boys, I'm getting in the shower now. I'll leave this running. Thank you. I'm going to be just a few more minutes. Reaper says, it's more grip action that I need to get the breast cover for that Spartan. You can do dead hangs on the pull-up bar. It's good for the shoulders anyway. It's also good for the back. Man, how did I fall behind so quickly? Optimov says, I did delete my Facebook 2013. Oh, you know what? I guess we're not. I thought we connected on Facebook, and I guess not. I apologize, Cody. Runner Boy says, I'll leave my other phone on Eric's and Reaper's playlist a few hours every day. Nice. Runner Boy, thank you for that. I hope you guys saw that. Reaper says, hey, remember that day, Eric? That was funny. That was a fun session for you guys. There was a glint, a gleam in his eyes. I think he saw his reflection in a mirror, or he saw his reflection in the shininess of one of the metals, and he thought, man, I got to have that. The Reaper is coming. So, man, I'm wondering if we should have a name change. The Spartan Burpee Reaper. What do you think, Reaper? The Spartan Burpee Reaper. Optimov says, or you can connect him on his website. Laradox is back. Goldie says, Romanian, technically challenged, don't know how to communicate on a website. Reaper says, Eric, some advice, should I run? Yes. Because you want to get, you don't have to run hard. You don't have to run long. But you want to get in some running. Let me look up real quick. Hey, I see we got one coming up in Washington, D.C. Give me 1 second, guys. So what's the race going to be? Because I know there's many. I know there's the 5K sprint. I'm looking at it now, the 10K super. I know they also have the 50K. Man, that would be something. Our friend Jacob is back. Thank you, Jacob. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of time to get in a whole lot of running, so you don't want to overdo it. You want to run just enough. So you're not going to be doing any sprinting. Steffi's here. Hello, Steffi. How are you? Appreciate you coming by. Reaper says, let me finish this Spartan race and I'll change my name to something. The Spartan Burpee Reaper. I'm already saying it. I'm already practicing saying that. Reaper says, it's little. I got a little preview on this morning's routine. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to check it out after the live stream. Stephanie says, hello, everyone. Hello, Steffi. How are you? So it's 25 obstacles, 10K Super Spartan. I'd run a couple days a week. Doesn't have to be fast. Doesn't have to be hard. 3 days a week. Maybe working up, if it feels easy, maybe working up to 4 miles. You know you can do 10K. You were hitting 10K easily with your wife. Man, you were hitting 10 miles with your wife, right? But you just want to get your legs back again, you know? You already got, the reason why you don't have to sprint, you already got that. You already got your cardio with your burpees. You just need to get that, you need to get your legs used to running. And you can definitely do that in the amount of time that you have. Evan says he's still gone. Me? I'm back. Steffi said had a bit of stress today, but otherwise I'm fine. Sorry for the stress, my friend. Optimop says, hi Eric, I send you my mail with my super old Facebook picture to verify the account for you. I'll look for it. I look very young in that photo, in that picture. Goldie says, younger than now, Timo, is that possible? He does look very young. Not as young as Bax looks. 6 miles. So yeah, if you know what, get in a couple easy, work your way up through the week, couple easy 4 milers between now and then. Make sure you get at least 3 days off, 2 days off before the event. Jay says, Lewis, you won't struggle at all, bro. You will enjoy it. Yep, no doubt. Absolutely. Optimob says, so much younger. That is impossible for any app to trade. Me so young. One day I will post, I actually have one on a couple thumbnails of me with long blonde hair and weighing 220 pounds. If anyone is on Facebook, you can check it out there. There is me in various degrees of hair and varying weights depending on what sport I was participating in at the time. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. Jay says, if you want running advice, I'm here. Make sure to stretch, warm up, and stretch when you cool down. Reaper says, I appreciate that. Jace. Fortunately, the Reaper is living with a 2-time half marathon finisher. 2 times? It was more than 2 times, right? Let's see. Optimob says, hair, a nice face, needs more space. I appreciate that. I appreciate that for 2 things. Because it was really, really kind of you to say, and because it made me laugh at the same time. That's the best kind of compliment. It can make you laugh, and it's extremely kind. Optimob says, a friend said that always. I appreciate hearing it from you. Jay says, I've done one Saturday and the next Sunday, Eric. I also ran distance. Awesome. Yep, I've done a bit of distance running too. Sometimes I think about getting back into it. Who knows? I often say I'd like to finish some races in my 60s and my 70s, possibly my 80s. I'm definitely training for old age. Not training to stay young. I'm training to do stuff when I'm old. Optimum says, thanks so much. Jace, Goldie, Eric. Jace says, 26.3 with 60 pounds, 2 days back to back. Awesome. Great training. Man, reckoning with weight is no easy thing. Well done, Jace. That is as much mental as it is physical. Wynn says, are you a professor? I am not a professor. Just a yogi. Plain old yogi. Not even the bendiest of yogis. Well, Jay says, 6 weeks on crutches, no skin left on my my feet. Well, yeah, that would definitely take it out of you. Evan S says, is it the book with the marijuana leaf on it? Oh yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it? Let me double check. Oops. One second, Evan. Yeah, I don't know if it is actually, it's got 4 of them. It says a Toltec Wisdom Book. It looks like a marijuana leaf. I don't think it is. Could be. Reaper says, should I strap on my 20-pound vest and go up and down my hill? No, I don't think so. Are you doing any? Well, let me check out your workout. I think you're better off practicing the specifics and think of it as practice, because you are as strong as you need to be already. You are as fit as you need to be. You just want to work a little bit of the muscle, sketching in that muscle memory of what you're going to do. You're not going to get any stronger between now and the 24th. Maybe a little bit. You're probably not going to get any fitter. You've been hitting Holy Grail sessions. Can you get any fitter? You already lift weights. you're plenty strong enough to do all the challenges that they have. You just want to practice the skill of the events so you know what you're getting into. Jay said, Army days, I was fit and had hair. Man, those were the good old days. I wasn't in the Army, but I once had hair. Altamob's going to go with backs now. Jay says 195 back then. Wow. Just got to get the legs moving. Agreed. Evan says, you ever want to go out and party? Never. Never even crosses my mind. When I left drinking behind, I left it behind. Moment of grace. Had I tried to do that, I would have failed. Had I tried to quit drinking any numerous times, I would have ended up drinking again in a day. At best, maybe a week. Not because I don't have willpower or self-discipline. It's because I was a drunk. But I was given an opportunity to not be a drunk. Again, I don't know why. Grace is unearned. But I was given it. And I was smart enough to step into it when it showed up. Let's see. I'm copying that. Reaper says, to Spartan in California, Eric, if you can let me know in your afternoon live. Definitely. Reaper says, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Reaper, for being here. Evan says, you ever want to go out to an environment that is free and fun? I do every morning. I'm not charged a cent to step out in my front and go for however long I feel like walking or running, experiencing all kinds of things in nature. Man, I saw a white egret walk in front of a snapping turtle yesterday, absolutely for free. It was the most amazing thing I've seen maybe ever. I say that in every amazing thing that I see. And I get to see things like that every day, every single day. Not only that, I get to wake up and sit down and meditate and have my entire interior world open up. I get to experience worlds within worlds within worlds. I get to touch base with my infinite self. I get to breathe my way into a breathe and forgive my way into a peaceful reality where I can see everyone as offering a gift, and I get to give a gift in return. I don't have to pay a cent for that. It's pretty amazing. And why is it? I have no idea. It's a mystery. But I'll take it. All right, guys. Going to shut things down. I'll be back in about 2 hours-ish, 2.5 hours. If you're around and you got nothing to do, you want to say hi, just come in and say hi. No big commitment. Eric Point says, another great live. Thank you, Eric. And I appreciate you for helping to make it so. I also appreciate that you didn't abuse your power when I put you in charge. I came back and everything was much the same when I left it, although I think you might have rearranged my books. I'm pretty sure when I left and put Eric LaPointe in charge, he rearranged my books. I'm going to go to look for something later, and I'm going to be like, what just happened? Why can't I find any of my stuff? It's because Eric LaPointe rearranged it all. Lesson learned. From now on, I wait until Goldie shows up, and Goldie is in charge. Goldie says, thank you for a lovely live and chat. Thank you, Goldie, for making it lovely. Jay says, Oos, you got that now? Don't need to do any more training. I agree. That's why I practice the stuff in the events. Don't think of it as training. Think of it as practice. Reaper says, it's a super one, not the easy one. Of course it's a super one. I naturally assumed that I was a super one. I'll be honest with you. I naturally assumed that it was the 50K because I thought it's the Burpee Reaper. Of course he's going to do the 50K. Has our friend the Jay Jordan done the 50K? Let me know in the next live stream. Sabine says that was another nice live. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Sabine. Very much appreciate you and Timo being here. Evan, thank you. Jace, my friend, thank you very much. Lee, I hope to talk to you soon, my friend. Love continuing our conversations. We had Runner Boy and we had the legendary Burpee Reaper. We had Jacob dropping links. Mobo and Steffi. We had the best of the best. Lee says, lovely live, Eric. Thank you, Lee. Jay says we have the wolf one. I'm going to have to look up that. Jay says we have a similar thing. It's not going to challenge you, bro. Enjoy it. Great advice from our friend Jace. Thank you, Jace. All right, guys. We'll see y'all later. I'll either see you here or, hey, if anyone's live, I'm going to be on the lookout for you. And I'll see you in your live stream or someone else's, because that's what we do. Oh, I need to mention our friend Steffi. Steffi was here. Steffi says bye-bye, as well as Tara. Tara was here. Thanks, guys. Very much appreciated. I'll see y'all later.